Joining us now on the broadcast to pay tributes to Dharmendra is Vishal Malhotra, actor. Vishal, thank you for being with us on Newsx on this extremely sad occasion. The film industry is, of course, mourning the loss of Dharmendra ji. It is a very sad day, not just for cinema goers, but the nation. Vishal, your first reaction when you heard this sad news?
Yeah, indeed. It's a huge loss because to humanity, because one of the few rare gems of people who have actually got a great heart. I had the fortune of meeting him several times. I've worked with Bobby on several films, one of them being Nakab. I remember having amazing conversations with him before the release of Animal. And the camaraderie that comes across of the entire Deol family is legendary. Everybody knows about that. Unfortunately, it is a very sad, it's a very sad um, piece of news, which, again, I say with a very heavy heart that, you know, uh, he was aging, he was ailing, and my total prayers are not only with his family, but also his fans, out of which my mom and dad are a big part of it. So I can sense the sadness in them also today.
Yes. Any memories that you'd like to share with us with Dharmendra ji, Vishal?
He was such a sport because a lot of people imitated his amazing style, panache, and he took it in his stride. And I remember that he was a part of a lot of shows that I was hosting, as a guest and things like that. And I worked with his kids. I mean, in the sense of, I worked with Bobby in Nakab, I worked with Isha in Kal, and I've interacted with Hemaji also a lot. So it's been fortunate that I've had the exposure of knowing at least a part of that legacy. And I said he's a sport because a lot of people imitate his voice and imitate his thing. But at the end of the day, um, I know that he never took it as a mocking because he believed in love and he believed that everybody was whoever imitated him was he truly believed that it was imitation in his case was truly a form of adulation and not just meek flattery and comedy. So a great man with a great heart, and I know factually that uh, Pran Saab used to tell me these stories about Dharampaji being one of those people who had the biggest heart in the industry. He helped so many people. And the story about him proposing uh, Mr. Amitabh Bachchan for Sholay is also an epic story. I mean, who knows? We might not have had the fortune of having a legend like Amitabh Bachchan in our industry if it was not for Dharampaji, who really encouraged and pushed him in a time where the competition between the leading men at that time was incredible. Man who was so secure in his position, and helped everybody. And I think what we should take away from his life is that
Yes.
you never lose by helping other people. You never lose by loving people. Uh, and you should do it absolutely without any expectation in return. A truly lovable man with a golden heart.
Yes.
Huge loss
Dharamji,
for not only the Indian film industry, but
yes.
humanity, I would say.
Dharamji had a career, Vishal, of over 300 films, over six decades of work, so many iconic films, so many iconic characters. I know it's difficult, but any favorite role that you had of his, or film, or dialogue?
Look, I mean, Sholay was an obvious because, I was a kid watching that was impressionable. He did a lot of films before my time, but there were certain melodies that he was a part of lip syncing, Pal Pal Dil Ke Paas. Just what an incredibly handsome man. He just filled the screen with goodness, and everybody around him also looked about 50% better. Not that I'm saying that his heroines and the co-stars were not good looking, but his charm, there are people who are great looking, but then to get that with the camera taking it in, with the camera falling in love with you and you making the camera fall in love with you, and then filling this whole cinema hall with so much love and so much. personality and charm is really a God's gift. And God's called one of his favorite back to him right now. So I'm sure they're having a good time and looking down and blessing everybody from up there. But movies wise, of course, my time would be Sholay. Incredible. And of course, of late, his latest work, which I have seen, um, is the film that he did for Dharma Productions, which was incredible at that age to have that. And even at that point when he was romancing Shabana ji, it was not cringe at all for me. It was beautiful, and it's amazing that the man, the legend, had so much personality in him that even romancing at that age felt natural, felt romantic.
Yes.
And I believe today I saw a poster of another film of his which is about to release. So it's true, legends live on in the hearts forever.
Yeah,
And
he will live on with his, his last film, of course, releasing about a month from today. He's being remembered as not just somebody who had a great screen presence, but also a very good heart as well. That's what Prime Minister Modi also said. His simplicity, warmth will, touched people's hearts. Do you believe he became an inspiration for a generation of youngsters like yourself?
I mean, obviously, see, firstly, it's God's gift, right? I believe X Factor is given to you and it's chosen by somebody up there. So we can't take credit as human beings for that. But then to carry that forward with such dignity is definitely educated, you know. I, as an actor, have always looked up to certain people, and not only their on-screen persona, but I've been so blessed that I've had the great fortune of interacting with them for as little a time, also sometimes off camera, when the guards are a little off, and that's when the real education happens for me. Whether it's the new age actors, whether it's guys like Shah Rukh Khan or Salman sir, or whether it's legends like Amitabh sir, and of course Dharam sir, just to be around them um, when they're off the camera is such an educative experience because they're not who they are and they're not in the position that they are of the adulation and love just for their talent as actors. I personally believe that it's an amalgamation and it's a lovely um, culmination of a lot of traits and personalities that come together. And Dharampaji was the leading man in that. So for me, Dharampaji was not only a leading man on the big screen, but he was a leading man off the screen also, and that's what makes a true hero. And he's a legend. Devanand
Absolutely.
sir,
He's a
Dilip
legend,
Kumar
and of
sir,
course,
now
his legacy, as you said, Vishal, will of course live on forever. Thank you so much for joining us.